Hi guys, today my speech is going to inform you guys, the audience, about why finding a career first is more important than getting married first. Because we've all thought about, as a kid, we've all thought about being an adult, growing up, moving out, finding our soulmate, and eventually marriage. But lots of people haven't thought of a career that they want to do. I personally don't know what I want to do. I know what I'm going to major in, but I don't know what specific job I want. But finding a career first is more important because you can be more independent. You'll have a steady income and it'll be your own money, and you can be set for most of your life. But for me, I personally think finding a career is way more important than marriage. They're both important, but a career should come first instead of somebody else, because something could go wrong with the relationship and you may rely on them, which brings me to my first point about being independent. Usually people who are independent have a plan. For example, my plan is to start out at community college, finish at Arapahoe Community College, transfer to university, get my degree, find my future career, and then I will think about marriage and buying a house and family and all that, but a career comes first. And for example, about being independent, a family member of mine used to date someone who had no job, wasn't going to school. He was 22 and he was living off of his grandparents' money. And my sister had a steady income and she would pay for everything. Eventually she spent thousands of dollars on him, and eventually she got tired of it and then they broke up. But she's more independent than he is, and she learned from that experience. But he just relied on her money. That's really what he was there for. And so that's an example of how my sister was independent and she is able to have her own income. She can spend her money how she wants and she enjoys what she does. But he relied on her money, and once she left, so did the money. So he still doesn't go to school, he hasn't found a job, and so he has no money. But being independent does mean a lot of things, and when you do have a career, it does mean you'll have a steady income and you can spend that money however you want. But having an income means you can pay your bills, you can treat yourself to whatever you want, and you can basically just live and survive this world. But you don't want to be someone who relies on someone else's money. Eventually you may have to pay them back, and if you keep borrowing money from someone, it could get old and eventually they'll tell you no next time. But with a career, you will have that steady income. You won't have to worry about when your next check is going to be. Some people get paid once a month. I get paid bi-weekly. Some restaurants pay every week. But either way, your income isn't going to show up one day and then leave the next, or it won't be confusing. You know when you're going to get paid. You can check how much you're going to get paid. You know how much you're working per hour. And my next point brings me to how a career is something steady in your life. For example, some marriages don't work out, and sometimes your whole world can be turned around and flipped upside down. But with a career, it's unlikely for that to happen as long as you're doing the work you have to do and meet the job requirements. But I did some research and I did find out that about 50% of married couples in the United States are divorced. So you can't divorce your job, and if anything, you could find something better, which is why you would leave that job, or if you're moving states for a new company, or if it's better pay. But marriage is something that doesn't last forever. It could, but a career won't be leaving you if anything, you'll leave the career for something new. But a career won't let us down, but maybe our partner, they may let us down if we rely on them, if we take their money, and if one day we split up. I won't have a career, I won't have my own money, I won't be independent. So having a career does make you independent. It gives you an income, and you don't have to worry about your career leaving you. Thank you. What?